Hey guys, Pete here. It's going to be another Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 4 preview. I got a couple death threats in comments yesterday about the title of my video, which was pretty silly when you think about it, because HBO released photos like they do every week, and they showed Theon coming ashore in the upcoming episode, and it's clearly at Dragonstone, so yeah, the internet is a strange place. But as I mentioned, they did put out some new photos, and I thought it was interesting because of the way that they were kind of composed. And we got these three of Winterfell, but rather being a photo of, say, Arya standing in the yard or something like that, we see that we have two pictures in particular, one of Littlefinger looking down, and the other one of Pod and Brienne. And I think the one of Pod and Brienne especially, they're looking at something. The look on their face is that of a somewhat contained excitement, I thought, when I saw it at first. And then we also see this shot of Sansa, who is by the heart tree, and hers is a little bit different. So anyways, what I had thought originally when I saw these photos was that we had seen Arya outside of Winterfell in the trailer, which I talked about in my trailer breakdown, but we don't see her in any of these. And obviously, this is a big thing, her coming home, right? So my guess is that these people, all of the photos of people at Winterfell relate directly to Arya's return. I certainly could be wrong, but the other big thing going on at Winterfell is Bran came back last episode, and since he can't walk around, I feel like it's a pretty good guess. Now, there is one thing that we know for sure, and that is that this is the shortest episode of the season. It's only 50 minutes long, so once we hit like the 25-minute mark here, we are officially halfway through the season, as far as the episodes go. Obviously, the last two are longer. But 50 minutes is short. This is like 9 minutes shorter than the other episodes. And just to put that into perspective, from the time that we see Grey Worm getting ready to enter the tunnel at Casterly Rock in the last episode, until the time that Olenna finishes her speech and the credits start to roll, that's less than 8 minutes for all of that stuff to happen. So this will be a noticeably shorter episode. I don't think that's going to affect too much here, but it will in the other video that I'll be doing on Saturday probably. I have an idea about that. Either way, we got new photos of Winterfell. Arya's not in any of them, but I do believe that she will return. We don't have enough time for much games as far as that's concerned, and I kind of have an idea that all of these theories out there about her wearing another face or doing all this nonsense to drag things out will prove to be untrue because, like I said, we don't have much time. And there was this bit of foreshadowing where we saw Littlefinger unsheathing the Catspaw dagger or the Catspaw Blade in the trailer. And this has sparked a lot of theory and speculation, especially about him possibly trying to murder Bran. Now, I was sort of thinking about this all morning, and it's sort of a knee-jerk reaction. That's the simplest explanation. He's pulling the knife out because he's going to go kill Bran. Why does he want to kill Bran? Well, because Bran is extremely powerful and he can see how things truly are rather than the way Peter Baelish wants Sansa and the other people at Winterfell to see them. In short, he could expose him for all of his treachery without a doubt. Now, I have a big problem with this idea, though, because, one, it's very un-Littlefinger-esque, I guess you would say, that he would just go around stabbing people. He usually has other people that he relies on and uses. If you think about it, the reason we refer to this blade as the Catspaw Blade is because it was originally used in an attempt on Bran's life way back in Season 1. The assassin, or the Catspaw, had this knife. By definition, the word Catspaw means someone who's like a dupe or someone who's used for someone else's means as a tool, basically. So a hired gun in this case would be a Catspaw. He has no reason himself for wanting Bran dead, but he'll do it for the money. Of course, back then it was a totally different story, though, because Bran was protected by Summer, and he had his mom watching him, of course, and nowadays we don't really know, but it seems like it wouldn't be impossible for Baelish to just go in there and stab him. And they've certainly been foreshadowing this blade. We saw it on Arya's hip on the cover of that magazine. We saw it in the illustration in Sam's restricted books. And then we saw it in this trailer. But if you think about the original scenario, some people believe that Littlefinger was behind that. I don't necessarily think that, but it's not even important here. The important part of that whole scenario is what he did once he had that information. He turned it on Tyrion. He made up the story that he lost it in a bet, and that basically started the War of the Five Kings. So that's how Littlefinger operates. He injected chaos into a situation because it was good for him. Now we have Bran returning, he's already there, and Arya's coming in as well. Outside of her brother's supernatural capabilities, Arya's flat out seen Baelish doing some things in the past. When she was working for Tywin, when no one exactly knew who she was, she witnessed it, his dealings firsthand. So she is also a potential threat. I don't really think it's likely that he could kill her either, though. I mean, if you think about these two scenarios, let's look at them in the overall scheme of things. On the one hand, he could kill Bran in Bran's sleep. Bran is basically defenseless, and a guy as cunning as Littlefinger could definitely figure out a way to get himself alone in there and slit his throat. But how on earth would he get away with it? What is the situation that he could create in order to make himself not look guilty there? It's a stretch. Arya, on the other hand, is more than capable of defending herself, so he doesn't really have a chance if he went at her. I mean, yeah, he could try to get her in her sleep, but I don't know. She's on some other level stuff now, so I just don't think that that's very likely. So what is actually going on with this blade then? After mulling it over since this trailer's come out, I'm kind of thinking that that whole scene of showing it was a red herring, at least as painting it as an implement of destruction. I mean, just being in possession of it is not really that great for Littlefinger, but that's easy enough to explain away. There are a lot of theories out there that are saying that he's going to do this because it goes against his nature. That's going to somehow be his demise. But I'm not 100% sure because I don't think we've seen the last of Littlefinger yet. Are we really believing that his path in this whole series was to make it all the way to this part and then just screw up by doing something impulsive? I think instead what we're looking at is we're looking at a situation where there's a lot of people around who could expose him for what he is. So in Littlefinger's methodology, wouldn't it make a whole lot more sense that he's going to try to turn things around and try to discredit Arya and Bran in some way? I mean, I really don't know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know what's going to happen. I'm just saying be a little skeptical of these theories that are saying that, it's going to go down this way, because we really don't know. And don't sell Littlefinger short. I think that's the moral of the story. I do think he's on his way down. I mean, he's just in a bad setup. But I would be really kind of surprised, I guess, if that was how he ultimately was destroyed, was just by making a quick mistake. I feel like he's going to go out in a blaze of glory, but I could be wrong. So let me know what you guys think. I've heard that there's some Arya stuff out there, so please don't spoil people's experience of this next episode by posting in the comments. I heard there was a leak, and there's lots of articles about that, so I'm sure there's probably stuff out there. I don't go looking for leak stuff, so please don't post it here. I erased the comment earlier on one of my other videos that was a little borderline for my taste, so just be, you can do whatever you want, just don't ruin it for other people. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please like this video. Make sure you subscribe, and definitely, if you subscribe nowadays, you have to also hit that little bell below for notifications, and I'd appreciate both. Make sure you follow me over on Twitter and my Facebook page and Instagram accounts. I got a couple more videos in the works before episode 4 comes out, so make sure you check back. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.